Hello, everyone. Good evening to our viewers. Today is another day. We are very, very, very much lucky to have our presidential candidate 2027, Ambassador Esther Waringa, the sixth
Mhm.
Republic of Kenya. Thank you so much for coming into our podcast, and we welcome you. And we want to share with you and share with us your view of what is taking place in our country. Thank you so much. You
Mhm.
can say hi to our viewers.
Mhm. Yeah, good evening, viewers. Here is the Kenyan sixth president of the Republic of Kenya. And of course, on gender matters, the first woman president that is going to transform this country into a very progressive, transformative, and authentic nation. Right now, we are going through quite a heavy economic, political meltdown, even democratization meltdown, highly experienced in Kenya. But we are saying we are here as patriots, we are here as heroes to this country. We will not allow our country to go down the drain. So, my viewers, today, we are here to give solutions. We are not here to complain. We are here to offer solutions to the current state of the nation in the Republic of Kenya. And we are saying, if leaders are not able to deliver, let them just step aside. Wapatie mama wa taifa an opportunity to govern this nation like a mother.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And we are also requesting our viewers, if you have any question for Ambassador, the sixth president, you can also
Mhm.
give them on the comment section, and she will be very, very, very much glad to answer those questions. Thank you so much. Today, we know our county requires accountability, and corruption
Mhm.
is in our country. And I want just
Mhm.
to engage you on how we can realize a good governance in Kenya.
Mhm.
What are the
Mhm.
measures that you are proposing to put in place so that good governance is realized in our country? Because it has always been an issue since time
Mhm.
immemorial. So just share with us about that.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
think for the longest time, even before Gen Zs came, the founders on our journey towards realization of good governance.
Mm.
Actually, before Gen Zs came, we had done two major
Did I?
all the agencies of government. That is the DPP, the judiciary, the police service, and the public service itself, and the Public Service Commission. And of course, other agencies like religious institutions that some of them are supposed to be stakeholders in the good governance roadmap of the country. So one is that the country has been on the wrong trend on corruption. And we must say that the theft in government has been a greatest contributor of economic meltdown in this country. Corruption has also contributed greatly to mismanagement of funds, and therefore the people of Kenya, especially the taxpayer, is not able to get services, is not able to get water, education, agriculture, medication in hospitals. They are not able to get all this, and some of the roads in this country are totally dilapidated. Why? Theft in government. Number two, bloated representation. I am totally against the poor and retrogressive political system that has brought in political rewarding in Kenya. That it really doesn't matter whether you are qualified, as long as you are known to who is who in this country on matters government, then you'll be able to be roped into whatever position of government. And this has contributed to bad governance in the country. Therefore, we are coming to clean up, and we are proposing a new system of vetting leadership away from political rewarding and political cronism.
Mm.
We are bringing a total new paradigm where we are proposing a public service system of government
Yeah.
where we would want and we are proposing through a referendum, the Public Service Commission to take 100% the full mandate of vetting and appointment of leaders, instead of one head of state and government taking over and rewarding his cronies and giving us names that are only related to him. We want to open up the space. We want Kenyans to know that Kenya is an institution. Kenya is not a one-man company or one-man institution. It is an institution where all of us are stakeholders. Therefore, from now henceforth, we are going to introduce the public service appointment bill, where we would want to see vetting and appointment going forward being done competitively, and underlying competitively and competently, and those who merit, and those who have passion, role models. These are the people, those who want to leave legacy in the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
So that's the people that we would want to have sitting in positions of cabinet and even other agencies, because what we are lacking in Kenya: water, education. Our roads are bad. Look at the education system. The CBC is not yet there. Until now, since 1963.
Yeah.
Some families are still walking kilometers looking for water. This must stop. And that is why, Madam President, I'm ready to take this country head on, and I'm giving notice to all politicians that they must vacate office within the shortest time possible if they are not able to deliver to the people of Kenya.
Okay, I'm very sorry. We are missing Madam President. I don't know what's happening. But if you have any question for Madam President, you can as well share with us. We are here, so she can answer.
We cannot allow this to happen. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. And
yeah,
just share with me, because one of the challenges that we are having towards good government is about the institutions that we have that are mandated to put check on some other areas, including accountability and transparency. It's the institution like the one that deals with corruption. How can you strengthen this institution? Because that's where the problem is. We feel like this institution are kind of like weak. How are you going to deal with the strengthening of this institution? That is one. Then how also are you going to promote transparency and accountability in this institution and every person that is coming to the government?
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission that is tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that corruption is wiped out in the country. We also have the judiciary, an institution that is supposed to oversight the legal processes and give they're supposed to give a backup to the Constitution and ensure that the Constitution is effectively and efficiently implemented. So to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, for the longest time, they have been saying that they are a toothless dog. I think my responsibility as a head of state and government is to ensure that I equip the Ethics and Anti-Corruption fully and give them powers to be able to execute fully those that are caught in corruption. Because for the longest time, we have been having heavyweights. Depending on who you are and where you come from, you just go scot-free, because Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission does not have the necessary tools for work. So my government is going to totally equip them, and we are going to start with them as well. That first of all, they should be role models on matters corruption. Anyone serving in the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission must know why they are there, and must be able to serve the people of Kenya selflessly and with equal dignity, and ensuring that every person is equal before the law. They are not those who are big fish and those who are small fish. And I tell you, this country is going to be transformed. The other investigative agencies is the DCI and the DPP. That we would want to know from the DPP also going forward, how does a case meet the threshold for prosecution? Because most of the cases are going scot-free. Yet Kenyans, we know very well that this was money stolen from public coffers. But when they get to the desks of some of these offices, I don't know how they find their way out. And that's why we are going also to capacity build the offices of the DPP, so that prosecutions of cases will be handled effectively and efficiently. Equally, the office of the DCI, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, we would want to know exactly, we would like also to ensure that the DCI is fully equipped, so that we bring them to the level whereby they are able to take accountability and transparency of cases of criminalism, of investigations in the Republic of Kenya, to a level whereby we are not seeing EACC, DCI, and DPP that are political, that are making decisions that are politically correct. This is something that as a country we must run away from, being politically correct. We want to exercise high level of professionalism in DCI, in DPP, EACC, and even the judiciary. And I think so far Kenyans has goodwill. Is only that Kenyans need leadership. You will agree with me that Kenyans who are serving in DCI, DPP, EACC, and judiciary, which some of them have interacted with them in this government's conference, good governance conferences, they have the goodwill at heart. But now, the systems and the leadership to be able to trigger goodwill in these agencies to be able to deliver is questionable. And that is where Mama Taifa, Ambassador Waringa, where I put it, the sixth head of state is coming in. Yeah. And let me tell you, the people of Kenya, I'm ready to take over government, even if it is tomorrow, to start putting things right. Because Kenya cannot be going to the public domain for all reasons, for all wrong reasons. We are a beautiful country, a country that God has endowed with great resources. And I'm not sure where God is seated is very happy about this country. I think he's a little bit annoyed, but he'll be very happy very soon, because what Kenyans will be doing, we will be doing good things that also are pleasant to him.
Okay, thank you so much. You mentioned about Kenya being blessed with good resources, especially the minerals, and it is an issue whereby where we have the deposits of the minerals, we tend to see it's not benefiting Kenya, but it benefits individuals. For instance, in the case of Turkana, we are told like the places where there were those oil deposits, they've been bought by the individuals, you know, and the people of Turkana are not getting what they are supposed to get. Even the county government of Turkana, that is one. Go even to places like Migori, where you have the gold deposits. The people who are mining those golds, we don't know who. Talk about the one in Kakamega that people were told were being told to vacate those lands because there was a Chinese company who was doing mining there. So as the president, what are kind of like the modalities or ways in which you are going to make sure that all the minerals resources that we have, the natural mineral resources that we have, actually are pumped into the economy, even as the Kenyans themselves are getting it? And if maybe to extend it further, you remember what the late Magufuli of Tanzania did, especially when it comes to the gold deposits. He said that this needs to be processed here. You know, not you mine it and you go process it outside the country, but you need to, so that we could get the benefit of our minerals. So what are you going to do about that?
Very well. Yeah, I must repeat what I've just said, that Kenya is endowed basically with all resources that we need to run our economy. And I must say that the sixth head of state and government borrowing will be nowhere close to my administration, because I think that the Republic of Kenya, due to management of resources, that's how we find ourselves borrowing. And I will be able to work closely, very closely, with these nations that we have borrowed before, so that we see ourselves a loan-free country. And in this regard, we have these natural resources. We have oil deposits. We have minerals in the western belt of the Republic of Kenya. And allow me to say, Kenyans, that due to politics, until now, we may not know very clearly what is happening in Turkana. Because the last time we heard of it, we heard that piece of land belonged to some politicians. This must come to an end. And Mama Taifa, the Mama Taifa administration or the sixth government, we are going to unravel everything. We will leave no stone unturned until we get to the bottom of the matter. Who owns the land that has our oil in Turkana? Yep. And we won't laugh so much with everyone, but we will ensure that we deliver. In that regard, we will ensure that we drill the oil, and actually, we are going to ensure that we also have our own oil refinery in Turkana. This is going to create jobs in Turkana. This is going to enhance the revenue of Turkana and of the Republic of Kenya. This is going to enhance our GDP, and this is going to ensure a double-digit economy for our country. So before the Mama wa Taifa or Ambassador Waringa's administration comes on board, may those politicians who are claiming that that land is theirs, can they sort them out, please, before my administration comes on board? Okay. So we are going to make sure, and I must bring to the attention of Kenyans that when we first of all heard of drilling oil in Turkana, we heard also that there was export of crude oil and processed oil. That means whatever raw materials we are supposed to get from crude oil were being exported as well. And those are the materials that we are supposed to benefit with them as an economy. After we get the clean oil, then we are able to get the tar that we are using to make our roads and all that. But because of theft, because of corruption, because of evil, all these products have been taken somewhere else to benefit a few. The country belongs to no one. The country belongs to every one of us. The country belongs to God the Almighty. And He will position people of right mind who are going to come and do something in this country. Now, talking about mining into Kakamega, did I see the other day, the people of Kakamega were very happy on the streets. And they were carrying gold, you know. And I think most of the families walikuwa wanakula kuku na ugali, and you know, they were enjoying. That's what I mean. And that's what kind of economy we would want to bring, where people are proud of natural resources that are within them, and actually they should own, and actually they should be beneficiaries, and actually whatever is within them should be economic drivers of that particular region. So in that regard, my administration will still ensure that the mining space in the Western Belt is highly protected, to ensure that theft from and corrupt deals from those who seem to be powerful, let them know there are those who are more powerful than them. It's only that we don't talk too much, but the power vested in us can be able to drive the corrupt out of this nation. So I'm going to ensure finally that the gold is finally processed to the final bit of it, where we have gold chains, gold rings, gold earrings, gold everything, you know, so that our people benefit locally. And those who are coming from outside, they can come and buy at our own cost, you know, although we will not exploit them, but this will enhance, you know, international market and what we call foreign exchange earning to this country. So look at those two regions. Oil in Turkana, that will be very rich. And gold mining in the Western Belt, and even I know there are other minerals that are deposited, mineral deposits in other parts of the country, and we are going to look into that very soon. I only wish Madam President takes over this government tomorrow, and I think I'll be the first president to take over this government. You remember the Esther of the Bible, who was just proclaimed, Ati wacha huyu akuwe rais. Yeah, we may not, we may sleep. When waking up in the morning, she's already president. In God we trust. Thank you.
We wish you well, and thank you so much for that. And I want also to engage you about the vetting. And right now we are seeing the nominees of the nominees that were nominated, the members, the personalities that were nominated by the president. They are going through vetting, and when you look at it from your own perspective and the view that you have for Kenya, do you feel like it's being done the right way?
As I said earlier, vetting in Kenya is not vetting.
Yeah.
It is just a process to certify and to signature what has been said and what has been confirmed by those in authority. So it is a system whereby I have given you the names, give me back as they are, or remove one or two to, you know. So that is why we have ended up in poor governance in Kenya, because our systems are not transparent. Our systems sing the songs of a few who have power in this country. Our systems of vetting are so corrupt. It's about, I give you 100 million, give me that position. Our systems are like, I brought 100,000 votes from this region, give me that position. My competence, my experience does not matter. What matters is that I gave you this number of votes from this region. And that will drive us to the next topic, probably, of Kenya without elections. Because elections has really teared this country apart, including politically influenced decisions because of the power of the vote. I must say that the power of the vote is what is governing this country, unfortunately. We peg our vetting and appointment on the power of the vote. Who voted me from what region? When I look forward to election 2027, which region will I get more votes so that I can position a kingpin there? Forget about it. The Mamo Asaifa administration is bringing a totally new brand, a paradigm shift. And that is why I'm saying, Public Service Commission, be ready. Be ready. We are soon coming to give you power and the mandate and the necessary tools to be able to vet our public service officers, all the way from the cabinet, the PSS. You have been doing it for the longest time. Now we are going to increase your mandate by adding ministers to you. And of course, we shall oversight so that it is transparent. It is not tribal. It is nothing. It is just a transparent, very competent process that will be highly determined also by meritocracy, integrity, responsibility of that particular person. And of course, my dear brother, high moral standing. High moral standing. We are in a season where today I get a position today and I ask myself, is this my season to eat? How much money am I going to get out of each and every budget that comes from my office? If it is a pen like this that is costing 5 shillings, I think we can double it to 10 shillings so that I start pocketing. This must stop. We are bringing the most transparent, transformative, and authentic government going forward. I repeat, I wish I take over this government tomorrow. Yes, and execute this.
When you look at especially the nominees that have already, the vetting is continuing, and you find that in a period of 1 to 2 years, somebody net worth increases by around millions. Like you can get like around 100 and something million. That is your net worth has increased. Yet you are just a PS or CS that has been nominated for 2 years. They're not doing any business, but you find that growth is too big. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that is questionable in its own nature. How can that happen? Not unless stealing in government. And that's why I remember President Uhuru said, we are losing 2 billion a day as a country. Where is that money going? It goes to people's pockets, So, and that's why I've given an example with a pen. The procurement systems, away from the procurement systems of goods and services, you realize that even when people are being employed, you have to carve like 200,000, 500,000, and pay these people so that you're employed. Not again in the government of Kenya. In the government of Kenya, anybody who went to school, meet the standards, the qualifications, you are free to apply to work with the government of Kenya. Not because you know anybody, not because you have a father or a godfather or a godmother or a relative. I think going forward, there'll be no calls like wacha nipigie fulani. I know somebody in this ministry. I know someone in this government office. That is coming to an end, including service delivery. Matters ID, matters passport, matters birth certificate. These are services that any Kenyan can walk into any government office and within no time should be able to get their due service within the shortest time possible. And they're not supposed to bribe their way. So this is the kind of revolution that we are bringing on board. And it's coming very soon, very soon. Kenyans, get ready for this.
Okay, now let's come to the public participation, because public participation is one of process that is even enshrined in our constitution, especially when it comes to vetting. But you find when the public especially give out their views and the views are not taken so seriously or are not incorporated when this is happening. Like right now, we have public has raised issues to do with the academic qualification of one of the nominee from Mombasa, Ali Hassan Joe, and the ACC too has written to the parliament concerning Honorable, the former governor for Kakamega, Oparanya, that he has a case. But you will still find like they will still go through the process. They're not even withdrawing from their nomination. What does that one tell us as a country?
It is very unfortunate because we have lost integrity. If I was Joho, if I was the other governor, he's called Oparanya, I should have retreated already after being mentioned by the EACC. But now, this is a country where we don't uphold integrity. This is a country where responsibility is just behind the bars, and that is what we are bringing on board. So it is very, very unfortunate that the nominees that we have right now are dependent on how much the political class are able to satisfy their political thirst. It's about their political space. And I said earlier, it's about how many votes will I get from Western and who will marshal these votes for me so that I can give them possession right now. How much votes will I get from the coast region? And who is strong enough to bring me these votes in 2027 from coast region, and I give them cabinet positions? These are the determining factors. Meritocracy, competence are no longer. Even if you see these names being given to parliament, remember that parliament is just an extension of the executive. The independence of parliament is no longer there. And these are the total transformations and paradigm shifts that we want to bring in this nation. Because no longer we would want this country to be captured by a few politicians. So we are not waiting so much paradigm. We are not waiting so much change through the vetting and appointment of the current cabinet nominees of the Republic of Kenya. We are waiting to sing the same song of corruption, the same song of incompetence, the same song of the country being controlled by who is who. But I tell you that time, this is short-lived. It will be very, very short-lived because we are also praying to God that He help us position the right leadership going forward. And of course, we are on the ground and we are preparing ourselves for the paradigm shift. So we are coming on board, including streamlining the vetting and appointment process in the country.
Okay, thank you so much. And that is well said. If there's a viewer out there who would like to give us some question for Madam President, you are free to do that so that we can answer those questions as we continue to have a discussion. Another thing that also ails us as a country is about the electoral processes. That has always given us incompetent leaders or leaders who are not worth leading. As you prepare us for your governance and even share with us what are the policies that you're going to put in place so that the people who are elected or the people who are appointed at positions, they are people who have merit, but not people who do not qualify? What are those steps that you are going to take? So, and this one I know will enhance service delivery.
Thank you very much. By God's grace, I'll be marshalling Kenyans to work with me as I birth the Kenya Bira Uchaguzi system of government. In other forms, it's called the public service system of government. This is a system that will see us bring to an end general elections. This is a system that will see us having no more elected representatives. This is a system that will see us coming to an end on matters, the huge budgets that goes into elections. And then after we spend so much money, like we spent in the last elections, we spend more than 100 billion on general elections. That should have given water and irrigation systems to the entire of northern belt and even much more in the country. But because of electoral processes, here we are as a country. And I must say that the budget that is spent into elections can be able to transform this country in a big way. 100 billion is money that can be used to improve the infrastructure development in schools. 100 billion, we can be able to build our road networks to international standards. 100 billion, we can be able to industrialize all the 12 provinces of the Republic of Kenya. 100 billion is huge. But because of poor systems, maniocratic systems, systems that are based on the power of money, unfortunately, that is coming to an end with Mama Taifa administration. And what I'm doing now to be able to...
Just excuse me. Maybe somebody is asking, public service, the one you are proposing, how are we going to elect our representative or even elect the president?
Okay, very good. Now, the public service system of government, just the way we vet and appoint the president of the judiciary. I think we did not see Mother Kome campaigning left, right, and center. We did not see Mother Kome on top of vehicles campaigning to be the president of the judiciary. We only prepared the Judicial Service Commission to vet those who qualified to meet the qualifications of position of a judge of a president of the Chief Justice rather of the Republic of Kenya. So the same case, we are going to establish a governance commission. The governance commission will be able to vet the head of state and government. When we come to the county level or provincial level, because we want to reinstate the 8 provinces and we want to add 4 so that we are 12. The 12 provinces, we are going to have, before I go to provinces, we are going to have ministers being vetted by the Public Service Commission at the national level and the PSs. From there, we go to the provinces. At the provinces, the 12 provinces are provincial public service representatives. That's what we shall call them. The head of public service, Nairobi province. The head of public service, Nyanza province. Head of public service, Coast province. These are going to be vetted by the Public Service Commission at the national level. Then when we get to the county level, although still our bill going forward, after some years, we are going to reduce on these counties. We are going to have the county public service boards. The county public service boards are going to vet who? Not a governor, but they are going to vet the county head of public service, who will be able to represent that particular county. And then we are going to have a constituency head of public service instead of a member of parliament. Then at the ward level, you remember we had ward extension officers during Moi's administration.
Yep.
We are going to have in each and every ward, we shall have ward extension officer water, ward extension officer health, ward extension officer agriculture. We reinstate them as they were. So in that kind of a structure where we are vetting from the head of state to the provincial representative all the way down to the ward, we will not need any general elections. We will not need any elected representatives. We will not need election as a way to bad leadership. And all these bodies, let me finish, all these bodies that will be vetting will be given the criteria upon which they will have parameters to know what kind of public service officer we will bring into these agencies. And going forward, I think that is coming up very fast. And even actually what has happened in Kenya right now is telling us that we don't need any more elections or elected leaders. Kenyans remember that we are yet 2 years since we did election. And now we are impeaching everyone. Actually, they are 8. They should have gone home by now. And we just concluded election 2022, just recently. How are we going to get the value for money that we spent to do election? Remember, some of them started campaign 4 years before election. And now, 1.5 years or just before 2 years, they have not delivered. You cannot even impeach them. You cannot send them home. The constitution is very complicated on how to impeach some of these people. But we are birthing a system where the Public Service Commission or the county public service boards will just give a warning letter, the first warning letter. They fail to change, the board will give a second warning letter. They fail to deliver the third warning letter and they go home. There is no process of impeachment and taking taxpayers' money and our time discussing all these things at the Senate. and at the Senate and in our national and county assemblies. Equally, allow me to add, did we see what happened in Northeastern yesterday? The people that we have elected, those are the elected representatives now, who are supposed to be our leaders. They were throwing chairs left, right. They fought at the floor of the county assembly. And those we expect to be role models as leaders. So is our election process giving us leaders who qualify? Is election process giving us leaders who merit? Is it giving us leaders who are competent? No. I remember we were doing a Kenya Bila Uchaguzi session somewhere in Muranga. And one lady said, Kenyans, if a dog come holding money like this,
Yeah.
and that same animal gives you that money, you will vote that animal into parliament or into a seat, a political seat. That is how retrogressive the political process is. So we are bringing it to an end. Very soon, we'll be bringing the Kenya Bila Uchaguzi referendum, and we are bringing it to we are starting public participation next week, so that IBC requires 2 million signatures so that we change the constitution of Kenya. So we have to garner 2 million signatures, and we have to ensure that it cuts across at least half of the counties in the Republic.
Okay, thank you so much, and we will be following with you on that, bearing in mind that right now we don't have commissioners at the IEBC, so we will see what will happen, because even the persons that were selected, the cases in the court right now, we are waiting also for the ruling that will take place on the 15th of August. We will be following out on that. I know you've also set up a cabinet for you. So can you just share with us how your cabinet is going to work? And before we get your view on what is now hailing our country, first of all, share with us about your cabinet.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, we have a Kenya Transitional Governance Cabinet, because when you realize a gap is existing somewhere, as a responsible Kenyan, you are forced to move in quickly and fill the gap. So when I realized that there exists a gap in matters good governance in the country, I have been doing it at the public service level, PSG level, with my secretariat, and I salute them. But now we decided to take it to the next level, because there is a big gap on service delivery in this country. And almost to every sector, when we talk about health, when we talk about education, there is a gap. Talk about agriculture, there is a gap. You talk about our judicial systems. Talk about energy, high cost of energy, high cost of manufacturing. Almost in every sector, there is a gap. Our education system, CBC, is suffering because we have not yet streamlined. It is so politicized. So what are we doing? We are moving quickly with my cabinet to ensure that now we try to fill the gaps from where we are seated. I know sometimes it's very hard. It's very hard to do it when you are out of government. But believe you me, we will be the next government. So I'm telling my cabinet to shape up so that they form the 6th cabinet of the Republic of Kenya. So our cabinet right now, we are focusing on five major thematic areas. One is good governance. And in good governance, we are trying to ensure that we implement systems and structures of government that will be able to see the public's efficiency in public service delivery. Number two, we are looking at the vetting and appointment systems, which are derailing or distracting good governance to be realized. And that is why, one, we are proposing Kenya Bila Uchaguzi under governance. Another thematic area is the justice and the rule of law. I think you agree with me that even the vetting that is ongoing in the country, nobody cares about the rule of law. EACC says some of them are corrupt, but nobody cares. Everybody continues with what they have to do because justice and the rule of law is not being upheld. So we are taking it up. Another thing that we are taking it up is on matters accountability. For the longest time, theft in government is so huge. Why? Because of accountability. And that is why even about the debts is so huge. And we are still borrowing because of lack of accountability. So that is something else that we are going to check on ministries of government. So those are key areas that we are, yeah?
and we do not know of the debt. Actually, the government keep on telling us is the public debt. We need to know the public debt, that we had a very huge public debt, but in the real sense, the public does not know how much the debt is or how much we are paying.
Yeah, it is so unfortunate that the head of state was trying to constitute a team, because I think the auditor general must be able to put these figures into the public domain, and I think the constitution gives power to the auditor general to be able to evaluate from time to time the debt position and share this information with the country. I really don't want to mention a figure. I think they are still in the process of telling us where we are, but it is unfortunate because we shouldn't be forming a commission. This is information that should be in the public domain if we are a transparent government. And I salute the Auditor General because she has also demonstrated being non-political in her delivery. And even now, the Auditor General kindly continue being non-political and being neutral, and kindly share with Kenyans the trajectory on matters, the wrongs and the debts that this country has. And I think my administration this is something that we must address. We are shameful as a country that we have to ride on borrowing. We have to ride on borrowing. That is very, very unfortunate. And something else I did not mention is that this country is so rich in terms of raw materials that we can be able to industrialize this country so that we stop borrowing. So this is something that we should be looking to in the near future.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us your cabinet and the mandate that they are going to take now.
Yes, and before I exit the cabinet, I would want to invite Kenyans, because we are forming a cabinet of about 15 ministers of 15 ministries, and right now I think we have about 7. So we have about 7 to fill in. So those Kenyans who are interested, they can reach us out to on 0720 925 867. 0720 925 867. It's not about Amb.Esther, it's about Kenyans. Come through, come open, and that is why we are opening up vetting in the public service, so that Kenyans from all over the world can apply for these positions in government, not one person naming who is around them. Anyway, the transformative agenda is coming to your desk and to your village, to your market very soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
I believe our viewers have heard you, and it is quite okay. And we are looking forward. We will keep on following you and what you are doing to make our viewers and the country at large get informed of what is taking place. Now, let's come to the country right now. One of the things that I want also to get your views on, you know now that yesterday, Court of Appeal made a ruling, especially about the Finance Act of 2023, and made it, and he said it was unconstitutional. Then the Finance Act for 2024 also was rejected by the public. So it means right now, as we speak, the Finance Act that is now constitutional is the one that was done in Uhuru administration, that is 2022. Where did we go wrong as a country?
That's a very good question, and it is telling us how Kenya is moving. And I think we don't want to say we are a banana republic, but we don't want to go that way. We don't want to be seen as a country that do not know what we are doing. One, public participation. The government has totally watered down the power of the people. I must say, one, Gen Z said we don't want politicians in the cabinet. We have reinstated politicians in the cabinet. 2, Kenyans said we don't want finance bill 2024. 3, Kenyans said finance bill 2023. Actually, they gave proposals through what we call public participation. But no one was listened to, including Finance Bill 2024. No one was listened to. So what did Kenyans go do? They went to the streets. And those MPs who said yes, walisalimiwa. So I really don't want to make it fun, but it is very, very unfortunate because why don't our leaders listen to us? Who has positioned these leaders? Who has employed them? Is it not Wanjiku? And then they go ahead and negate the brain of Wanjiku. The Constitution of Kenya is very clear about public participation, but you ignore public participation. And this is what we are going through. Now, on Finance Bill 2023, thrown out. Why? Because of lack of not listening to the people through public participation. Finance Bill 2024 out. So what are we left with? Finance Bill 2020, Finance Act, 2022 by President Uhuru. Now, what have we gone back to? We have gone back to some progressive interventions, by the way. If these people are to listen and execute some of the provisions of Finance Act 2022, one, we are seeing the return of subsidies, which is very progressive. Number two, remember we had 16% VAT we had 8% VAT on oil and oil products, which was increased to 16%. It was doubled to 16%. So if we adopt then Finance Bill 2022 as it was, we are going back to 8% of VAT, which was very progressive. And actually, we are going back now to see taxes being reduced in many of the products that today taxation has been doubled. So I think that will be, to a great extent, that will be good. And because they have failed to listen, then they can be able to execute what was listened to and was enacted then. So for me, I think Finance Act 2022 was quite good and progressive. Okay, not 100%, but there are good things that we can borrow from it as we wait to see what goes forward.
So where does the problem lies? Does the problem lies with the executive or problem lies with the parliament? Because, you know, one, when it comes to finance acts or finance bill, when it comes, that is a way in which the government, a legislation in which a government can collect taxes through increasing of taxes or decreasing taxes, depending on where they feel they want to do it when it comes to tax. Yeah. Then it comes to parliament. Yeah. Then the parliament, we know the parliament body is a legislation body where they make or they make the laws that govern the country. Then we go to the judiciary. The judiciary interpret what has been legislated by the parliament. Yeah. And now you find it comes from the parliament. When it comes to judiciary, the judiciary finds, okay, this is unconstitutional. Where is the problem? Where do we really have the problem? Yeah.
The problem is we have failed to uphold the independence of institutions on matters decision making, because Parliament is not supposed to sing the song of the executive when it is passing bills that pertains to the people of Kenya. Parliament is supposed to listen to Wanjiku. But did I see the hand of state the other day saying, Nyinyi, tunawaangalia, we are waiting to see you people and see who will not pass that bill in Parliament. What are we saying? That Parliament is singing the song of the executive when passing these bills into law. Equally, we would want to call the executive to stop interfering with decisions made in Parliament. Parliamentary bills must be all done in the best interest of the people of Kenya. Parliamentarians should listen to the voice on the ground. But unfortunately, of course, they have been, for once or twice, we have heard of money changing hands. We have heard of the brown envelopes to be able to influence parliamentary decisions and parliamentary passing of bills. So how do we stop this? Is only when integrity governs Parliament. Is only when integrity and transparency and accountability governs the State House. Otherwise, we have lost it completely when we make everything to be the best interest of the big stomachs, of their hearts, of their families, and of their everything, which is very unfortunate. That Parliament has to see. Do you know, I understand that before a bill is passed, there has to be a a meeting, an evening meeting, if the bill is to be passed tomorrow morning, so that the brown envelopes can exchange hand. There shouldn't be at all. Parliament is supposed to be a totally independent agency that has Wajiko. Actually, Wajiko should be the pivot under which discussions in Parliament revolve. But now, discussion in Parliament revolves around the head of state. And that is why we are going to crash the electoral system to its deathbed. It will see its death because all the decisions that are made by measuring Parliament into numbers, it's about how many people are in my political party that I can enjoy being a majority in government. In fact, majority is losing, or the power of numbers is losing value in this country. What we used to call, it's running my mind, but I hope I'll remember it. Yeah. So the power of numbers is losing value in this country. And where we are headed to, it is not what the majority rules, it is what is truthful, what is making sense, what is of value to the people of Kenya. That is what we are going to be looking at. So for now, I think and I think that is why judiciary is now trying to come in, because the judiciary can already see that Parliament is singing the song of the executive. So judiciary is trying to see that Wajiko is protected by the Finance Bill 2023 and the Finance Act 2023, and Wajiko is protected by finance and not exploited. Not exploited. Because remember, the Finance Bill 2024 was highly exploitive. It was a draconian, totally a bill that was quite adding a heavy burden to the people of Kenya. So the judiciary, I should have taken a glass of water with me.
Sorry about
The
that.
judiciary is trying to come and represent Wanjiko. So I think Parliament, the entire elected representatives should go home now and allow a new crop of leaders. In fact, we are just going to vet and appoint them. We may not wait for these elections again, so that Kenya can move forward. So did we see? Sorry, our time is running out. But have we seen now the political game?
Yeah.
Okay. Have we seen? Okay, dear. Have we seen the political game now of the deputy president?
Yes, that's impeachment. Okay, thank you. We are still waiting for her to come back. If you are in the comment section and you want to ask any question, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much, Mr. James Mwangi, for joining in. Mr. Mesha.
Yeah, I think it is somebody. Yeah. Okay. Some network issues there. Yeah. All so right. Basically, there is so much confusion, and this country is headed down, and that is why I've quickly moved to form a cabinet that will be able to oversight the public service going forward and ensure that Kenya does not stop. So we may not need, even if the political class are to leave office tomorrow, we may not need the Kenya Defense Forces to come and protect the country or govern the country, because now we have already a PSG cabinet, Public Service Governance Cabinet, that is already in place to ensure smooth transition of government and governance, and of course to ensure public service delivery in the absence of the political class. So politicians, is a kwaheri for you. Elections is coming to an end. No more politicians, no more political class, no more general elections, and no more IBC. But we are going to see what we can do with our Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. We are going to transform it to a Public Service Oversight Authority, so that it can oversight the public service system of government.
Okay, thank you so much. I also need to know the best way that we can handle the Gen Z, their demands, especially like somebody where you are right now. If it was you who has been approached by the demands that Gen Z are raising, without them going to the street, what are the ways in which you could have listened to their demands rather than letting them go to the street? And how would you handle the political class? Because we saw how the political class and their surrogates have come together against the demand for accountability, transparency, the few things that the Gen Z were demanding.
Okay, very well. Sorry. Um, I see I should have connected power to my laptop, but no problem. I should
Yeah.
be able to address this quickly before
Yeah.
my laptop it has given me signal. Uh,
Okay.
well, very quickly, Gen Zs are my good children because I know I have two boys. I have Sammy and Jimmy, my sons, and
Mhm.
they are at that age. And well, these are brains that I listen to. Actually, sometimes I tell them you are my advisors. I tell them you are my advisors. So in this regard, the Gen Zs, sorry, my laptop has an issue with power. Yeah,
Okay.
the Gen Zs. First of all, our dear Gen Zs, kindly structure yourselves because you want good governance, and good governance dictates that we must have structures of operations
Yeah.
so that we are able to address issues from a structured perspective. So my advice to you, structure yourselves. Number two, let us not destroy property. Let us try to do peaceful demonstrations in the whole country that is around, because the country is going the wrong direction on matters governance. We are already running on very poor governance. So they are justified to be on the streets. However, we need not to destroy people's property. We need not to. We need not to. Uh, we need not to fight. We need not to lose lives. We need not to have KDF on our streets. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we should look into. And
Mm.
yeah, sorry for the power issue. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Your power is going, and maybe I should end the show. But we have people on the comment section. Maybe if one of us have
Mhm.
the any question for Madam President, so we can handle any of them on the comment section. Thank you very much, Gibson Corner, for coming in. Meshak Mutungi, thank you so much. And maybe before we wind up, maybe your last comment to our viewers and the way forward for you.
Okay, very well, very well. To my viewers, thank you very much for watching. And for sorry for the poor interaction. And we are ready to take this country to another level on matters governance. We are ready to ensure that the Republic of Kenya is a country where we are all proud of. Kenyans in diaspora, we are ready to make Kenya the country that you will be proud, you and your families and your children, to come back away from this retrogressive political influence and political retrogression. So as I form the sixth government of Kenya, I am committed to ensure that good governance is the driving factor, and the guiding principle is selfless service to humanity and to the people of Kenya. For now, thank you very much. It's from Ambassador Esther Waringa, the sixth head of state and government, Republic of Kenya.
Thank
And
you
we
so
may
much.
not wait for until 20, yes?
Okay, go ahead.
We may not wait until 2027. If things don't work, we are ready to start influencing good governance right now. And actually, we are already doing it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your time to have a conversation with us. And we take this opportunity to thank our panelists for being there with us and with their comment. We really, really thank you so much. Can you tell us more about mining and corruption? That is the question that is coming, but now um, you are. Can you tell us more about mining and corruption? I think you talked about it.
Yes.
Yeah, you did talk about it. And maybe if somebody has a question before Madam President leave the stage, please. Okay. Halfman, thank you so much, family, for joining us. You can also join us by subscription. And Ambassador Esther Waringa, the sixth Republic of
Yes.
Kenya, we really, really appreciate you. And we thank you for everything. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you for the host. Thank you for hosting the sixth head of state and government, and Kenyans. Here we are. I'm coming up. I'm coming very soon.
Okay, thank you so much, and may God bless you.
Asante sana. God bless you
Oh,
mightily.
okay. To our viewers, thank you so much for being with us to in the entire show. You listened to Madam President and everything that she's selling in her government. So you can also join her. She gave her contact. She's soon appointing her cabinet, transitional cabinet. She called that one. So that is what is happening. And we thank you so much. And I'm hereby joined with my co-host, Makobura. Habari gani bana?
Niko salama nashukuru. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was following the interview. It was a nice one.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So what do you have? Because I know you'll be hosting, you'll be having a show around 10 p.m. or 10:30. What are you having?
Yes, I have so many issues that I want to tackle with the two panelists who will be joining us today.
Yeah, that's who and who.
That's Mr. Barak and Mr. Senator Kiplimo Shah.
Okay.
Yes, we will majorly look into the vetting of today.
Yes.
Today we had there was an approval hearing of cabinets, which was beginning today.
Yeah.
Of which the Interior nominee Kithure Kindiki was the first to appear before the committee, followed by Dr. Deborah Mlongo, Health nominee, vetted to be that is Dr. Deborah Mulongo, and then we saw Julius Ogamba for education, and then Saipan Tuya, and then they ended the show with the vetting of Alice Wahome, who has been nominated to head the docket of water.
Okay, and maybe also you can also try and talk about the repercussions that we are going to have, since we are going right now as it stands. I know somebody will go to court so that they can get back their the tax that were taken, housing levy, because since it is unconstitutional. So I know somebody will go to court and the government will have to refund that. That is also something that is there. And you can also mention about the ODM. Remember when Sabina Chege started to work with Kenya Kwanza, there was that tussle of the deputy whip position that the ODM took. But now, what is the way forward? For a fact, now ODM is working with the government. There's nothing like broad-based by government. Let us just be very, very factual. It is a handshake. That is what is there. Yeah. So.
Yes.
What is saying, they are saying like they did not enter into agreement with the Kenya Kwanza, but that's the political face of it, the public face to convince you. But real sense is they are in government. So we are going. You can also talk to your guest about that, and also you can also tackle about Azimio, because if Raila goes, who is going to be the leader of Azimio? Martha has really said that she's no longer going to be there. I think Munya also might be on the way. So that one will leave the KANU and Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Wamalwa. So those are some of the things that maybe you can look and engage with our viewers. To our viewers,
yes. We have more. We have so many things that we'll be tackling. I just want to tell our viewers that we will start at around 10. Okay. Kindly be part of it, and we will be eager. We are eagerly waiting for that time. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura, for taking your time to brief us what is coming up, and thank you so much to our viewers. Thank you so much for your support. We really, really appreciate you, and we really say a big thank you to you. If you are new in this channel, please join us by subscription in the channel. Let's keep the conversation going. May God bless you, and may God bless our beautiful Kenya. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you so much.